Hi everyone, and welcome to our Veganuary motivational video series to help you and your vegan children throughout Veganuary. I'm Dana from Vegan Kids, and we help and support vegan children and their families become and live in a vegan world. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the mistakes that I've made throughout my vegan journey. First of all, to let you know that yes, even vegans make mistakes. I know there's kind of this theory that all of us are virtuous and angelic and that we never get anything wrong, but that's just simply not the case. Most vegans that I've spoken to at some point have had some mistakes, some things where they've simply not realized something was vegan, or maybe even been misled by companies or other brands into thinking something was vegan when it turned out that it actually wasn't. So there's loads of mistakes that can happen, and they probably will happen, and I just wanted to share some of the ones that I've made, so hopefully you can avoid some of the mistakes that I have got into. So a couple of things, like when you're looking at brands, when you're buying certain brands and you've got maybe like 3 or 4 of that product from that brand is vegan, and then suddenly 2 or 3 of their products aren't, and it can be quite easy to pick up a product and think, oh, it's a vegan brand, and then suddenly get another one and think, oh, actually no, that's not a vegan brand. So that's definitely something that's happened to me. Something like even when they're maybe accidentally vegan, products like Doritos and Pringles, you'll find maybe some of the products are vegan and then some of them aren't, and that can be really confusing. So just be aware that if a product isn't labeled as vegan, or a brand isn't labeled as vegan, that maybe not all of that brand's products are going to be suitable. That's definitely my number one tip to check out, for checking on the whole of the product. And even when a product sometimes looks vegan, or the brand seems vegan, or they have like a real kind of vegan, earth, eco-conscious message alongside them, and then suddenly you find out that they've got cheese or something in one of their products, can be quite confusing. Another couple of mistakes I've made, I think I mentioned this once before, but with nuts, you can get like these nut snack bags, and occasionally they have things like honey in them, and that really, I wasn't expecting, when you get products where you're just not expecting a product to be in there, and then suddenly it is, and you're like, oh no, or maybe you've eaten it, or you've brought it home and you're like, oh my goodness. And of course, what to do in that situation, like you've just bought a product and maybe you haven't eaten it, if you just realised it's vegan, it's like, oh, what am I going to do? And occasionally, sometimes I'll take it back to the shop if I can, or I just give it to a friend or family member who isn't vegan. It's not something that I like to do, because I don't generally like to give non-vegan products out and away, but it's better than wasting it. I've made that mistake. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm going to be more careful next time. But these things can happen, and they do happen. So occasionally that will happen. Sometimes maybe an ingredient hasn't been very clear, or I've been shopping on a shop which in my head I've kind of associated with it being a vegan shop, but it actually isn't a vegan shop, and then I've accidentally bought something thinking that because it's a vegan shop it's going to be vegan. I know this has happened sometimes with some like ethical shops, like Ethical Superstore. Sometimes in my head I think of that as a vegan shop and then realise it actually isn't and then accidentally have bought something because I've seen something, thought, oh look, that's vegan, and then got it home and thought, oh, what was I even thinking? That wasn't actually vegan. That's definitely happened before. So there's those 3 things. You've got so brands, check out that the whole range is vegan. If one product is, it doesn't necessarily mean the whole brand product is. Number 2 is products that you're just not expecting to have it. Like I didn't expect milk in guacamole. I didn't expect to be milk in certain crisps when they're not in other crisps from the same brand. I didn't expect honey in a bag of nuts that didn't say it was honey glazed, or didn't have honey listed on the front. Didn't expect it to be in it, but it was. So unknown products. And you can also, with the brand things, like the same products, like I think I've mentioned before about like bourbon biscuits, you can find even digestive biscuits. Sometimes you'll have one is vegan and the rest aren't, and that can be really confusing. And other one that I sometimes made is things like e-numbers. So e-numbers can catch you out, and it's not like, even now I don't memorize all of the e-numbers that are vegan or not, and sometimes I spend ages in a shop googling each e-number trying to work out whether it is vegan or not. I would like to learn actually the e-numbers. That's something on my to-do list to do, but obviously as a new vegan, that's something that you're probably gonna not always be aware with, and something that can catch you out. So checking for those kind of hidden vegan products when they're being a bit sneaky and they're using e-numbers. They do it with things like gelatine sometimes. Sweets as well, if you're being kind of checking out and says suitable for vegetarians, generally means it's not going to have gelatine in it, but then it may have something like beeswax. That one definitely caught me out a few times to begin with. So be aware that sweets, it's not just gelatine to look out for, it's also beeswax. They sometimes put them, especially in the kind of the glaze type sweets, they'll often have if they've got that kind of coating, that's often beeswax that's coating that for you. So those are a few of the mistakes that I have made. Hopefully that they will help you along your journey, not make some of the mistakes that I did. If you've got any concerns, any questions, then do get in touch with us. You can contact us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, or send me an email at dana@vegan-kids.org. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.